love, and then allow the prosperity. You got this. Make good, make it your own. You know you got the power in your mind, heart, body, and soul to grow dreams, grow faith, grow you. Create authentically in the garden of good. Live, and love. In a God gonna dig big and trust. In a God gonna create, elevate, celebrate, and love. To the garden. When you feel the love raining down on you, welcome to the Garden of Good. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Garden of Good. I'm Amy Steinberg, and this is my home in Asheville, North Carolina. And this that you have happened upon is the Garden of Good. What is the Garden of Good, you ask? Well, this week in the Garden of Good, we will be discussing peace and passion because I thought this was the last Tuesday in March. It's not. So next week, we will be wrapping up the heart quarter with a discussion of all of our roots. I know. People are laughing at me and smiling at me. I see you. Martha was like, are we not having a gathering next week? And I was like, yeah, I'm an idiot. I thought it was the last week in March, so I wanted to get everything done. And that is why it is peace and passion. All right. Why do we gather here? What are we doing here? Well, the Garden of Good. You can read this with me. It might feel good. The Garden of Good is here to nourish creativity and connection with contemplative play. We make good by showing up honestly and creating together. Together is different. It's different to create together and to journal and to share our ideas than to do it alone. It's different. It's different. Why do I have this accent? I don't know. There are 4 quarters, as I've just discussed, and we are at the end of the first quarter, and we're going to be entering into the mind, which is so good for me because that's what I'm studying is the mind. Idea, we pick a root, we pick a fruit. Every quarter, you get to pick a new root, and then there becomes maybe new fruits. Yes? Amen. Hallelujah. Things I like to just presence the awareness of before we dive in. Kindness first. And you're just there with yourself over there in that Zoom land. We're together, but you're like kind of alone. So be gentle with yourself and just open you joy. That's where the joy is. Just open to whatever silliness we do. If we're going to sing, if we're going to write, if we're going to doodle it, do it, sing it, you will experience more joy the more you do. But it is your choice, gardener's choice. Camera is always optional and we are confidential. Yes. So, first thing we're going to do before we even feel our light around the world is we're going to sing. I created a little chant for us. Because we're doing peace and passion, right? Passion like the sun, peace like the moon, alive in my soul, I rise and bloom. Passion like the sun, peace like the moon, alive in my soul, I rise and bloom. Passion like the sun, peace like the moon, alive in my soul, I rise and bloom. Ooh, 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 ooh. Okay, so I wrote a couple different parts, right? So that's kind of like part 1. Passion like the sun, peace like the moon, alive in my soul, I rise and bloom. Passion like the sun, peace like the moon, alive in my soul, I rise and bloom. Soon enough, I'm going to be able to hear you. Soon enough. Here's part 2. Passion like the sun, peace like the moon, alive in my soul, I rise and bloom. Passion like the sun, peace like the moon, alive in my soul, I rise and bloom. Feel it? You know what I'm saying? That's like, you got a little scale there to sing. I see my singers are in the room, right? So you got passion like the sun, peace like the moon, alive in my soul, I rise and bloom. Keep that. Passion like the sun, peace like the moon, alive in my soul, I rise and bloom. Boop, 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 boom. You can make it your own. All right. A third part would just be passion, peace, passion, peace, passion, peace, passion. A passion like the sun, peace like the moon, light my soul, I rise and bloom. Passion like the sun, peace like the moon, alive in my soul, I rise and bloom. Welcome to the Garden of Good.
My passion is guided by the peace in my heart. I am fully awake and alive. Passion is the call and peace is the way. I'm listening to what lights me up, letting it lead me with clarity, calm, and cool. I am so passionately chill that everything feels good to me to date.
Let's say it with her.
Okay. My passion is guided by the peace in my heart. I am fully awake and alive. Passion is the call and peace is the way. I'm listening to what lights me up, letting it lead me with clarity, calm, and cool today.
Welcome you into some gratitude. So if you have your book, you're going to open to page 69. And we're going to just take a moment. At this point, you can unmute. And as you write things you're grateful for, you can share them into the room. And what I'm thinking is that since we're talking about peace and passion, that this gratitude list, and since we are meeting next week, we can save the next gratitude list for next week. But gratitude, be great. Let's speak into the space and write on our page things that bring peace that we are grateful for. Things that bring peace.
Meditation.
Kissing my puppy.
My recliner after a long day at school.
Couch.
Yes.
Say it again.
Nature.
Nature.
Kindness.
Kindness.
Clean house.
Cup of tea.
Sunshine.
Sunshine.
Spring flowers.
Mm-hmm.
Bread. It's true though. I swear it like grounds me.
Yeah, it will.
Fair time.
What was that?
Things growing in my garden.
Springtime.
Spare time.
Oh, spare time. Yes.
I don't know about it yet, but I'm grateful that it will exist at some point.
Spare time. Right. Grateful in advance.
Enjoying what we're doing.
Present moment awareness. Yeah, I love
Self-care.
that.
Self-care.
Spring break.
Woo!
It's coming.
Massage. Massages.
Yes.
Hot bath.
Okay, so here is the painting in the book for peace. And it's interesting that I chose this painting here because this painting was created as I was recognizing the draw that I have to the city, which is why I played you guys New York, my New York, as you were waiting, if you were listening, song about New York. There's always this pull that I have toward the city, but my heart like lives in the country, and I keep finding myself in the country, right? So it's like one's passion, one's peace. Are they the same? Are they different? You know, it's called Dreaming. It says dreaming tells the story of being torn between the city and the country. And I think sometimes, and when I'll talk about this in the little talk that I'm going to give, is sometimes I think the things that we're passionate about, we can be under the impression that we're supposed to, it's not very peaceful. It should be like, it's crazy or drama or, you know, passion equals wild, impossibility or something. And it's like, well, maybe not. Maybe if we lead with peace toward our passions, which is what tonight's going to be about. So I'm going to read you what I wrote here for peace. Peace is one of those words that I knew was a word for a very long time before I truly understood what it meant, what it feels like. The home I grew up in was not at all peaceful. That wasn't our strong suit. The good I find in such truth is that the hysterical home I grew up in forced me to seek the peace. And of course, I have found that it is nowhere. Now here, in me, all there is. Tap in, tune in, yada yada. It ain't something out there. It's something you cultivate with daily living. And for me, it is not a constant. I'm at peace when I'm reading. I'm at peace when I'm cuddled up with my partner. I'm at peace sitting on my porch watching the fireflies. I feel peace quite often. My mom moved up to Asheville about 2 years ago. She moved 2 miles from me. I hadn't been in her orbit since I was 17 years old. I was 49 when she moved here. I had no idea what was about to happen to my peace. All that peace I'd cultivated and tried so hard to make for myself went whoosh out the window. It was almost as if I lost the definition of it again. Mom moved to Gainesville to live near my brother a few months ago, and I'm feeling my peace again. There was so much good with her living here, and I truly miss her every day. But I have my peace back, which is lovely. What is peace for you? We're going to do a drawing of a lotus with a flame in it. Look at it. Look at it. That's mine. Now I'm going to show you I'm going to put up on the screen the doodle that I used to create mine. Now this is mine. Now what I'm going to invite you to do, and I'm going to describe what the process I went through with mine. So the first thing I did was I made the shape of the flame, the outer shape of the flame. That was the first thing I did. The second thing I did was I made these 2 petals here that were next to the flame, because I thought I built from the back forward. So I did these 2, and then these 2, and then these 2. And if you want, I'll go through it. And then these 2 and this one. But it's real simple. But then I want to tell you about the coloring that I did. My flame is red on the outside, then orange, then yellow, and then a little bit of blue or green in the very, very center if you want to. And then my petals, I was thinking of peace and passion. So blue to me is always peace. So I outlined my petals in blue, thinking peaceful thoughts as I was doing blue. And then the pink was the passion, or the peace too. And so that was my process. And then I was writing affirmative things around it. Peace is my passionate way. I am passion. I am peace. I am filled with great passionate peace, whatnot. So do you have a good picture of that? And first thing I want you to do is make your outline. And then once you have your outline and you start to color, I'm going to give you my little mini talk while you color. Because I always think that I hear more, like whenever I'm at a church and I'm performing or I'm writing a rap while the minister's talking, like I'm able to focus so much more on what is being, now that's just my brain. I don't know if your brain is the same, but I'll give you another minute to get that outline. And I guess I'll just, I don't want to share about my roots and fruits yet because it's not really time yet, but several of you have given to my piano fund, and the whole thing is so wild. I love how life gives you surprises. And if you hadn't heard, which I think you all are my friends on Facebook, but I'll just share it while you do your Lotus there. I was offered a baby grand piano. Somebody gifted me, and it was a baby grand piano that I played at a house concert last year. And I sat down to play this piano, and I had said to the woman, if you ever want to get rid of this piano, you let me know. Kind of as a joke, obviously, right? And she calls me, and she knew I was coming to Virginia, and she was just like, hey, I'm moving. And I bought that for my granddaughter. She's all grown up. She doesn't play anymore. And would you like it? And it's a lot of money to ship it. But you guys, I've almost raised it all. You guys, I've raised over $1,000. So at this point, if I don't collect one more dollar, I'm going to be okay. I'm going to be able to get it to me. It's also $250 to get it tuned. I got that. And it was something interesting I didn't know about pianos is after you move them, you have to let them sit and settle for 3 to 4 weeks before you get them tuned. They have to get comfortable. Isn't that a funny little metaphor, isn't it? So whenever you make a big change, give yourself some grace, give yourself some time. All right, I'm going to trust and know that you guys all have your outlines of your Lotus. Is that a thumbs up from anybody? Or do you need... Nope. Give you one more minute on that. And I think it's interesting because peace and passion, when we're talking about these two things, you can go from either way. Like you can go from peace to passion, starting off and finding your peace and then that leading you to your passion, or your passions can lead you to your peace, right? It's both. It's both and. I don't think it's like you're passionate and then you're peaceful. And I don't think it's like you're peaceful and then you're passionate. I think they can go together in so many different ways. So I just love you, and I want to presence the awareness that these meetings, these gatherings bring me a whole lot of peace. Can I move on to the talk, do you think? Yes, I saw some thumbs up. Peace and passion. I love this. I love this place so much. I love every single one of us in here. I love that something in each one of us is alive and wants to be expressed and shared and sung and built and painted and spoken and lived. And I love this idea of these two words being brought together today because I made a mistake. Don't you love that? I love that. But I also I've always liked the idea of having one Tuesday at the end where we sort of culminate the whole quarter. So that will be next week, but we could have waited till next week, but I just like how it worked out. So not going to mention that again. I'm going to move through my mistake. But how fun is that? How mistakes can bring a whole new thing. I love this quote. It's one of my very, very favorites. It's a Rumi quote. Set your life on fire. Seek those who fan your flames. And I wanted to share that quote today because I feel like you all fan my flame. I mean, if I really think about the garden and my own personal journey, creative journey, it's crazy how much you guys have fanned my flame. You fanned my flame with the dollhouse. You fanned my flame with all the things that I'm doing, you know what I mean? And I hope that you feel that we fan each other's flames, that it's not, say it enough time, it just doesn't make sense. Fan, flame, flame, fan, fan, flame, flam, flam. Oprah Winfrey said that you have to find what sparks a light in you so you, in your way, can illuminate the world. I loved that. I didn't make a slide for it, but I love that quote too. Passion is fire. It's movement, energy, feeling of like, I got to do this. I got to do this. It's what pulls us forward, creating, loving, risking, becoming. And peace feels like kind of like when you exhale, when you get that stillness, that sense that nothing's chasing you. And maybe that is a little bit of relief there, Somra, when something along the way starts to feel like, there's stress and pressure. It's like when you can let go a little bit, that's where we find that peace. And I was sharing about this earlier that at some point, I think we decided that passion would be like overwhelming and peace would be dull. I know I thought this, but what if it's not true? What if peace and passion actually belong together? And in my experience, my most aligned and creative moments don't really come from the urgency or the pressure. It comes from ease. It comes from when I'm relaxed, when I'm open. I mean, almost everything we do here in the garden comes from being in meditation. And I just get a download like, oh, this would be cool if we did this drawing, a lotus and a flame, that's peace and that's, whatever. Peace is not the absence of passion. It's the environment where passion can actually speak. Passion has a tough time shouting over noise. And if our lives are too loud, a lot of times we can miss it. So the question for you is, can you hear your passion? Sometimes people say, I don't know what my passion is. But what you really mean is you can't hear it. There's too much noise. There's expectation, comparisons. Oh, I'm terrible with that. There's pressure to perform. And passion shouldn't be something that we have to force. It should be something that we allow. It's already there, just like that peace. It's already there. It's already been there. It's who you were when you were younger. It's before somebody told you you can't or you shouldn't or, all that kind of stuff. It's that passion, that those spaces. Maybe I could do that. I know I felt it for animals very young. Finding your passion does begin, I think, with finding your peace. It can be like what's been shared about a few moments of quiet meditation. For me, a walk or putting your phone down, sitting with a cup of coffee, doing nothing else. Asking ourselves what's alive right now, what feels alive right now. We love the Howard Thurman quote, don't ask what the world needs, ask what makes you come alive, because the world needs people who have come alive. So, what creates peace for you? And that's where your passion will start to reappear. As you begin to listen, you'll shift and you'll become less frantic and more devotional. And it doesn't mean that you don't care. It just means that you don't want to force anything. And I think that's already the vibe of most of you in here, is that you're not forcers. It's not a race. It's a relationship. We have a relationship with our passion. I feel a relationship with my passion right now, for sure. Peace is what makes the relationships feel nourishing instead of exhausting. So if I'm thinking of art for me, like visual art right now, because that's really where my passion is. If I'm not pushing, if I'm allowing the flow, it becomes nourishing and not exhausting. Anyway, so we could think of peace and passion like breathing. I like passion being, we breathe in what we desire and then we release what the peace can be that calm. And just, it would be nice to do a little box breathing with you where we breathe in for 4, we hold for 4, we breathe out for 4, we hold for 4, we breathe in, we hold, we breathe out, we hold. And that's the process of that passion and that peace. Believing it, trying it, holding it, asking, how can I create more peace? How can I find my passion? Continuing to basically ask questions, right? Because your passion is moving through you. It wants to be expressed as you. And it could start small. You just want to follow. I know I use my own life as such an example, but that's all I have. I started making these shirts with fabric, with t-shirts, and called them the Diva Tees. And that was something I did for 6 months. And I had all this fabric. And somebody said to me, maybe you should paint with the fabric. And I was like, yeah, whatever. And now it's like, I'm having so much fun painting with this fabric. Just a little idea can lead to something else. And finally, I just want to say that your peace is not boring. So you can ask yourself, how do I create more peace? Because when you ask, how do I find my passion? There's like pressure behind that. It's more about the peace. If we find the peace, it can lead us to the next right thing that we want to do. What makes you feel alive? And that comes when you're open to hearing it, listening, expressing, being, becoming. We're allowed to have both peace and passion. Passion grows when it's honored. Passion grows when it's honored. All right, I've rambled enough on that, and so it is. So now we're going to do a tiny bit of writing, a little bit of writing. I was doing this on page 66. And what I did was what I thought might be cool is if you just wrote a passion, your current passion that comes to mind. For me, like I said, mine is making art. Look at that butterfly back there. Isn't it gorgeous? Making art. And then I asked myself, what are 3 things that I could do to approach this passion with more peace? So for instance, I'm going to read you mine. They're going to give you the ideas. Number 1, I had go slow. Sketch the idea. Oftentimes I'll start something before I even, I'll trip over myself starting something instead of taking time to sketch an idea and to go slow. Number 2, I said, share with those I trust. If I'm in an artistic process and I call my mom I don't like it. I don't like it. And it like stops me. I'm like, I go into this place. Stop going to the grocery store for an oil change, they say, right? Call somebody that's going to be, I'm going to give you guys an example of what happened this weekend with this piano thing. You guys, I was back and forth about the piano. It was not an easy decision because of the money. It was only when a friend said, do a GoFundMe, that I was like, well, maybe I can get some help with the delivery, right? So I call my mother. I tell her about the grand piano. She's like, what do you need? I don't understand. What do you need a grand piano for? I don't understand. And I'm like, well, I'm a piano player. It's a gorgeous piano. And she's like, sometimes it's just a no, Amy. Sometimes it's just a no. And then I called my girlfriend and I was feeling pretty bummed about it after talking to my mom. And I was kind of like just believing her that it was kind of stupid. And I said to AJ, this grand piano, blah, blah. And she was actually at the house concert, which is AJ travels with me rarely. So the fact that she had heard this piano, she knew what piano I was talking about. And she said, wow, that is so cool. And that is so exciting. And if you want it, you should get it. You should do it. Like, in other words, know your audience. Call the people that are going to inspire you. So that's one of my other things. How to remain peaceful is to share with people that are going to encourage, fan the flames, right? And then the third was to allow prosperity. When it comes to art, I cannot be thinking about whether it's going to sell or not. Just allow things to sell when they sell, and allow and trust. This has been my trust quarter. So that's that. So I'm going to give you guys a full 5 minutes to write about this. Serenity sparkles on calm seas, the sound of a breeze through the trees. I mean, that immediately made me giggle. I'm going to do it again. Serenity sparkles on calm seas, the sound of a breeze through the trees, quieting the voices in my head. Move, relate to feelings that flow. I feel peace rushing in to tickle all the peaceful truths about you, no matter what is going on from the outside. Relax, unwind, allow life to be what it is. Breathing deeply, aligning with spirit. Life enjoying itself. a very good day. I have found a way to balance the earth and sky, lighting the way and sparking the flame. I feel myself settle into everlasting peace, feeling the grass between my toes. I am passionate about my peace, and I trust that peace is the best way. I am passionate about my peace, and I trust that peace is the best way. I know sometimes I can get flustered and I forget about my highest self. And this weekend in Virginia, I remembered my highest self. I gave a talk. I have not watched it, so I don't know if it's any good. But the fruit is not for the tree. I don't watch my talks anymore. But it is the Unity Church of Bon Air, if you would like to hear it. I think it was good. It felt really good. It was called Love, Love, Love. And I just felt on purpose. The talk was about, doing what you love and being love. And what does that mean? What does it mean to love? And what does it mean to feel alive in your life? And I was like, are you living a life that you love? Like, that was kind of the question of the day. And I was like up there thinking, this is the life I love, like inspiring people, exciting people. My 2 red birds sold. I had them on stage with me. And a woman walked up and she said, what is that? It's mine, called, right? And it was fantastic. It felt so, I married people this weekend, which if you ever want to get married, please call me. It is my favorite thing to do, is to perform weddings. If I could do that full time, just because what you do is you meet with the bride and groom a couple times and you sort of design the service and you learn about them, you learn their love story, and it's just love, 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 right? Okay, so who would like to maybe share their little card they've got going on? Creativity is my peace, and expressing my joy is my passion. Peace gives me the strength to be passionate. Ooh, that's good. Passion, peace, everything feels good to me today. That's gorgeous. 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 All right, we're going to take a moment to just quickly touch upon roots and fruits. You have sort of already heard my root and fruit, which is that my root has been trust for this quarter. And this thing that happened with the piano was kind of the latest iteration of trusting that I'm going to be able to get this piano inside my house, that they're going to be able to take the legs off of it, that it'll fit in the door, that it's mine. That's so exciting. And it was massive trust. And the people that told me to do the GoFundMe, anytime you ask for help, it's humbling. It is so humbling. But it is so cool when people are like, I want you to have that piano. And then Suze Ogden had mentioned this idea of a Dirty Dozen concerts where you invite 12 people to your house. It's a dozen people. And you charge like $20 to $40, whatever it is, for this very, very intimate house. I was with Margot when I heard about that.
Yeah.
And I thought that's a perfect thing to do with a grand piano at my house. And then it was interesting. Yesterday, I gave away my dining table to a young artist who needed a dining table. I just put it on Facebook for free. And he came and he couldn't fit a couple of the chairs into his car. So he was only able to take 2 chairs. And I was like, well, I'm going to need some chairs for the Dirty Dozen concert. And I am going to say I received a gardengram this week from Anne. And it was so good. Where is it? I think I have it on my fridge. It was a card and it had all the words from the quarter and it was so cute and I loved it. So send a gardengram, y'all. And thank you for the love offerings. I'm not going to ask for any more money. I've asked for money for my piano. And I am performing this weekend here in Asheville at the Center for Spiritual Living. It's going to be an afternoon concert, my favorite kind these days. right after church, I'm speaking and singing, which is my favorite thing. I just kind of get to take over the church and sing and give the minister a break, you know? So thank you so much. And before we have the meditation read, let's just have a touch of home play, which is find peace first, that thing that is eternal that lives inside of you, and then allow the passion. If you find time this week, write about the heart root, write about, if it was invisibility, if it was whatever it was, visibility, intuition. We had so many great roots this quarter. Think about any of them that came to you or anything, and then start to consider what you might want for your mind root. Start to consider what you might want for your mind root. I think mine's going to have to do something with my thesis. I'm going to have to face it, that if I want a doctorate, I need to write a thesis. Okay. Which, by the way, if I haven't told you, is going to be all about Ministar. And the process of Ministar.
Okay. I invite you to close your eyes, take a gentle breath in, and let it fall out of your mouth. Again, breathing in and releasing. Let your shoulders soften. Let your jaw unclench. Let your body know it is safe to arrive right here. Now, bring your awareness to your heart space, right in the center of your chest. Imagine a soft, steady light glowing there. The light is your peace. It doesn't rush. It doesn't strive. It simply is. Breathe into that light and feel it expand, slowly, gently, like a calm lake at sunrise. Undisturbed, spacious, whole. Now, within that same space, notice something else. A spark, a warmth, a flicker, a quiet excitement. This is your passion. Not loud, not frantic, but alive. A living flame inside your peaceful heart. See if you can hold both, the stillness and the spark, the calm and the aliveness. They are not opposites, they belong together. Your passion does not have to push. It does not have to prove. It can rise from peace. Feel how your breath supports both. Inhaling, fueling the flame. Exhaling, grounding it in calm. You are not chasing your passion. You are allowing it. You are listening for it, like a whisper carried on still water. Ask gently within yourself, what is calling me from this place of peace? And don't strain for an answer, just notice. A feeling, a color, a curiosity, a small desire. That is enough. Your passion doesn't need to be big to be real. It only needs to be true. Now imagine this. Your peaceful heart is the container, and your passion is the flame that dances within it. Together, they create a steady, radiant glow, not burning out, not dimming down, just shining. Take a deeper breath in and feel that glow fill your whole body, your chest, your belly, your arms, your face. You are allowed to be both deeply peaceful and fully passionate. In fact, this is your natural state. Rest here for a moment in the harmony of it, in the quiet power of it, in the beauty of being exactly as you are. And when you're ready, gently begin to return, bringing this peaceful passion with you into your next breath, your next step, your next creation. You are calm, you are alive, you are both, and that is more than enough.
To a few of our gardeners that reached out today. Number one is Reverend Christy. Her dog Woodley passed. Remember, she had been dealing with Woodley, and so if you wanted to send her a note, Reverend Christy Simple, if you're friends with her on Facebook, just tell her that we thought of her and we send her our love. And then Kim is visiting family. I don't have too many details, but there's been some kind of diagnosis that's scary. So we send her our love as well. And I just speak my word of love and light and healing to all of us, to all of our families, knowing that tonight we are resting well with that peaceful, passionate heart, that everything is unfolding exactly in a way that makes us grow and learn, and this eternal soul that we are expresses as this good that is our little garden of good here. And so I'm so glad that we got to get together tonight and express and share and create an amazing poem. And I know that tonight is perfect, whole, and complete. And again, you know, we stay after for a little bit, so hang out if you'd like. And I'm going to put the poem together for us and put it up on our page. So come visit our beautiful poem. I love you. Bye-bye.
G-O-G, garden of good creativity. We get free, be me, work it effortlessly. Do what you love and then allow the prosperity. You got this. Make good, make it your own. You know you got the power in your mind, heart, body, and soul.